Harbor City Local TV. Brought to you by all our friends and neighbors. Hey guys, this is Harbor City Local. Man, great to have you in the studio, Stephen. So much to talk about, but we just want to introduce what we're doing here at Space Coast Podcast in association with Harbor City Local. HCLtv coming live.
I appreciate it, Jesse.
This
Thanks
is exciting.
for having me. This is exciting.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
We've been kind of teasing the whole, hey, we're coming to you. You know, HCLtv coming at you. And finally, we're pressing record.
We sure are. Yep. Getting out to the masses.
That's right. So this is just going to be a real quick why we're doing this, who's supposed to be listening, and why people should care.
Okay, great. So Harbor City Local, nonprofit, focused on community education, music, and art. And our motto is we build this together. And as Melbourne is growing, we're seeing different people coming here. And we feel we have a responsibility to keep Melbourne a little weird, and keep our original music, our original art important. And while we're doing that, make sure that we're connecting with the community, connecting with education. I teach algebra, so education's dear to my heart, and we have the opportunity to really bring this to as many people as possible.
Yeah. Well, with a YouTube presence, your Facebook presence, soon a website and so forth, there's going to be tons of content, tons of reasons why people should be paying attention as well. I mean, events coming through. Do we have a date yet for the Space Coast Music Fest?
The first Saturday in November, I believe it might be the 6th. Okay. It might be.
Okay.
But yeah, first Saturday in November, as well as, we have some other events coming up.
Right.
But Music Festival is the big one. We're doing an event at Space Coast Harley, March 13th. That's a Sunday. We're doing a pop-up event at Carabella Spa, March 12th. The Space Coast Young Professionals with the Chamber of Commerce are having an event for us March 23rd at Intracoastal.
Yeah.
So yeah, things are starting to move in a very great direction. And really, this is all because of what exists here. We're facilitating what already exists. We're facilitating the great musicians and the interesting bands, the jazz, the punk rock, even up to the hardcore and metal, alternative music, the artists that already exist, and supporting our great district and EGAD too. And
we can't forget all of the great venues and partners. Because with so many stages, I mean, we're looking at about 10 stages.
We had 7 in 2021, and it just keeps growing every year. At some point, rather than have stages, we'll probably add days.
Right.
And continue throughout the weekend. But yeah, we had some great partners with Intracoastal has always been a giant supporter. And Iron Oak with Deep Six Booking, Island Root Kava Bar, Pineapples, Against the Grain Tattoo, sponsored the main stage, and then our Groove Shack stage. The kiddos came out, and that's always my highlight, is seeing the jazz bands from the local high schools and the Groove Shack bringing their rock bands out. Yeah, a lot of talented students. There was a lot of surprises on that stage too. They do a great job. They have great leadership. Yep.
Their teacher has been also involved in the industry and the local scene for a long time. So there's a lot of promise coming from that stage in the future. And of course, a lot of those kids will get the training, they'll get the live experience. Maybe they'll catch a bug. Before you know it, they're doing a garage band, and then who knows? We may have another big touring act come out of this area.
And that's where it's at.
Yeah.
We want to support the youth to not be afraid to try some stuff.
Yeah.
And the Groove Shack is definitely, a big part of that. Because honestly, not every kid has the ability or the strength really to just jump into a garage band.
Right.
And they might not know that they have this talent. So being able to get into a place like the Groove Shack, or even a great place like Wickham Road Music, who sponsored our singer-songwriter stage, Funky Dog, they do an academy there. And we're working on a partnership with them to create a grant program for kids that can't afford
That's wise.
lessons or can't afford instruments. We're trying to help those type of underprivileged youth still be able to participate.
Well, as a nonprofit, those are a lot of very exciting initiatives. Education, more, of course, exposure to the local bands and artists. There's a lot that Harbor City Local is looking to do it, I feel.
And the festival really kind of set the tone for that.
Right.
So many people were interested in it. A lot of people didn't really know it's what they wanted, but I still get told every day that it's their favorite day of the year.
That's fun.
But being able to connect with the youth and the existing artists that already are here,
right.
As well as remember where we've been. There's a lot of, I know open mics is defunct now, but I met a lot of the older artists there,
right.
And there's some hidden, diamonds in the rough here that just
100%.
They only come out to open jams, and then all of a sudden you hear them, and it's like, where have you been?
Right.
Or maybe that's not the right question. Maybe where have I been?
Right.
So being able to collaborate this all into events and marketing and merchandise because we also put out local compilations of original bands, to be able to get that out to everyone that might not know what really is here. I know when I moved here, almost 20 years ago now, from North Chicago, being a young punk, going, I'm moving to Melbourne,
Right.
But I was working a lot, and once I got out of that 50 to 60 hour a week type job, and I was able to enjoy what we have here, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people like that are so into their own struggle, into their own lives, that they don't get to enjoy what we have here. We live in a resort area with amazing art, amazing music, and it's just growing and growing. And we just want to make sure that we're helping support the originality of the area.
I like that, because there is a lot of great talent here, and there's still a lot of people who come here, and I don't know if it's hard to find, or maybe just there's no memo, that they get in the mail when they move here. Maybe we need to do that. Like, welcome to the area. By the way, come to the Arts District, enjoy $1 off a pint or a food bill or something, and give them some promotions, like a little welcome packet. That'd be kind of smart. But yeah, until they actually get with locals or come to a festival and they learn about a new area. Well, hey, did you hear about this? No, let's go. And then they're like, what is this place? And that could be like a Cocoa Village, downtown Melbourne, O'Galley. We have all these incredible places that people just, if you're not on the beaten path, or if you don't get off the beaten path rather, and find something that's not, Ron John at the beach,
right,
or a Kennedy Space Center or Port Canaveral, and actually get into some of the more neighborhood kind of areas, then you may miss the whole thing. If you're just coming here just for the beaches, you're going to go over the causeway, and you may never come back to mainland to actually enjoy some of the cool little pockets of interest. So doing that work is huge, because not only for the resident who's been here for a while, but also for the visitor who has no idea what's going on. They're getting an Airbnb maybe in the art district just because it's across a bridge, and it's cheaper than maybe a hotel room.
Right.
But all their intention is to go to the beach.
Right.
But if they get an Airbnb, in the art district and just walk around, they're going to see that there's all kinds of surprises, all kinds of fun things. So what we have here is definitely unique, and to share that and give the proper promotion, give the proper introduction to people. I think that's a service that may be being missed by some other tourism agencies or whatever else. People who are attracting visitors here, and I think that it is up to people like you and this opportunity to say, hey, we're bringing stuff. We would love your contributions as sponsors and neighbors and so forth. We know that putting on a festival is not always convenient for all of the merchants or all the neighbors, but you have to see that it's all kind of lifting us up. It's bringing in tourism dollars, and that revenue, of course, helps everybody, whether it's the schools or infrastructure or just helping the mom and pop businesses out. stuff like that, because I'll tell you what, if we can get this to be a multi-day thing, and where people are flooding the Airbnbs and local hotels and frequenting the establishments for, a solid weekend, that's what any little tourism or district, with a specific intention to entertain and bring people and have them look at things. And again, we have improvs, we have speakeasies, we have all kinds of fun things to enjoy here. But again, it takes a village, to essentially lift that area out of obscurity and really make it something.
100%. And, as someone that grew up in, punk rock and that idea, it's always easy to say, they should do this. They should do that. But
if I did it, I would.
Right. But in the punk rock, realm, it's, DIY, we do this.
Right.
And we're not Chicago, we're not New York, we all do this together here, and it's the way that we grow, because the area is growing, and either we're a part of it or we're not. That was a big part of, joining the Chamber of Commerce. They loved having me come in there because they see what we're doing, and they do want to support originality while all these other great things are happening in Melbourne with the the growth.
Right.
Because there's a ton of stuff going here, and if you don't know what's coming, don't complain when it comes, because it's already on its way.
100%.
Just support the things that you love.
Right.
And another thing, when I moved here, a lot of people would tell me about places like the Power Station and all these things that used to exist here, and kind of have a complaint that it didn't anymore. And it's like, well, okay, well, let's do it.
Right.
And people are doing it. Iron Oak, there's more venues coming. There's, there's a punk rock bar in Egad, Traditionals. There's just stuff, and just have to participate.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of getting out there, and I think as we use this channel as an outlet to showcase all the things that are happening, it's just a matter of time before, and the attention of Harbor City Local TV is to be that voice, be that outlet, bring in the people that are really doing some fun things, the artists, the musicians, the merchants, people who host it. They dedicate their space. What they did at Pineapples with a dedicated floor just to live music, huge. And Iron Oak, same kind of capacity, good lighting, good sound, good stage area, and they're both completely unique to each other.
Oh, definitely unique to each other.
And so you look at some of these venues where we can do some things. Of course, the Rotary Park with the bandstand there for outside entertainment, which I'll tell you what, is used pretty often.
Right.
I love what EGAD Rocks is doing over there, and Keenan at the helm, and all the other fun things, doing like a monthly themed event. So we have lots of people using that area, and there's just so much to highlight. It's really getting dizzying, because when I relocated here from South Florida, I thought, I know I'm going to a sleepy place, but the surf is good.
But
not too many skate spots, but the surf is good. A lot less culture, a lot less things, happening, but the surf was good, parking's good, traffic is easy, not like South Florida. So like you, I came from a place which was heavy into the punk rock scene. Right. Like we have, Far Out Records and a couple other places were just putting out all kinds of like really good shows and attracting good talent, like saw some of the great bands. And I knew that a town like this may be a couple, they say, Melbourne's about 10 years behind like an Orlando or Fort Lauderdale or something like that. But I feel like we are elevated in so many other ways, so many other capacities. We may not have like the really cool, theaters and things that you would find in a bigger market. But what we do have is a concentrated effort by people who are really looking to exhibit and showcase their talents, and it's not separated by different areas and neighborhoods. You go to Wynwood, and down more downtown Miami, and which wasn't always a nice place, but we know what happened. A bunch of artists went down there, a bunch of creatives went down there, and they started building these really cool restaurants and really cool galleries and just doing these wall projects. And now Wynwood's, now they're building $1 million condos, right down the street. That was not a great area at all when I was growing up. Like you avoided that area, but now again, it's a little renaissance happening, in these neighborhoods, where everybody was always going to like Coconut Grove or something. So bring it back to home. We knew that we didn't have all of the features of a big metropolis, would have. But what I do like is the imagination and the concentration of effort and these little pockets, here on the Space Coast.
And you're right.
Such a tremendous opportunity.
We have these things to our degree.
Right.
Like we do have the Henniger Center. We do
right.
have, good,
the King Center. I mean,
right.
yeah, we have facilities. Yeah.
Yeah. But you're right. It's more of a concentrated effort.
Right.
And it's actually kind of unique and a joy to be a part of. It doesn't feel as separated. It doesn't feel as something that you cannot belong to.
Right.
Here you can belong to all of it.
100%. Participate, and you're already kind of involved.
Right.
And I would say, because of all the things that are changing, Margaritavilles and all these other things that are coming to our area, who are going to bring even more venues, and maybe even more potential for out-of-town artists. It's really important for people, if they're coming to our area, to see a big commercial touring, band or something. Well, while you're here, guess what? There's also things to do. There's other bands, here. There's other venues here. So while you're staying, and maybe you're just here to watch, a Buffett cover band or even Jimmy Buffett himself at Margaritaville, you could spin off into these other little pockets, go downtown for Iron Oak or something else,
right.
or County Line, who is also attracting a lot of big names, and they got a cool stage, good lighting, dance floor, good things going on there. Hurricane Creek, so we do have other little establishments that will just have that spillover.
Yeah.
So as people stay,
I was there the other day, and I still almost forgot that they reopened at County Line.
County Line's cool, bro. Yeah. I really like what they did. Great ownership.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to share, a lot to talk about, but we want to just get this first little teaser episode out of the way. So with that, trying to keep it short. Any closing remarks, like what people can see, or how do they participate? How can they support the show?
Well, first off, hit us up on our social medias, Facebook and Instagram. We do have websites on the way. We are looking to put out a new compilation soon. So if you're in a band that's looking to get out some new music and want to be a part of the yearly compilation we put out, hit us up. And festival time's going to be, we're going to start preparing for that real soon. We do have a volunteer meeting next Thursday at the Cottage.
Yeah.
And again, that's on our Instagram and Facebook. But yes, we have a volunteer meeting next Thursday at the Cottage at 6 p.m. And we're looking to do a lot of stuff. Yeah. Whether it's music videos, whether it's skits, whether it's skate videos, whether it's community projects. Let us know. Let's work together. Let's get it out there. And again, we're just looking to make sure that it's put out there in a way that's interesting, that's fun, that is community. So come say what's up. Again, we'll be at the Cottage next Thursday at 6.
Yeah, and we're not just looking for single-day volunteers, but also coordinators, people who can take a role and then also, kind of form a committee. So you have some committee chairs, and then people who are interested in one thing or another. You want to handle, venues or a specific stage or any of those things, because we're going to need bodies all over the place. So it's a real good time to come in, network with other artists, get on the ground floor of something very fun and unique.
Yep. It's real easy to say that we're, want to take over Brevard, but that's what we want to do.
That's right.
In a very positive, inclusive way.
Exactly. Well, this was a first teaser. I really hope everybody likes this kind of like mini episode. Yeah. We're going to try to do this. What, you think we could commit to once a week? Bring in talent, bring in venues and sponsors?
That's the plan. I think once people hear about this, they're going to want to participate. So, good. Once a week sounds good to me.
All right. Well, you heard it here first, guys. Harbor City Local TV coming at you. Check us out on YouTube and wherever you find podcasts. Until next time.